from the perspective of the farming sector in rural India, what do you think can be done, given the limitations we have to try and alleviate this crisis?
Well, Rahul, let's be very clear that from tomorrow onwards, April 15, we're going to have a mammoth operation across many states, Punjab, followed by Haryana from April 20th, and then of course Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan. This will be the harvest season, as you know, and we are going to start procurement from April 15th. Punjab expects roughly about 135 lakh tons of wheat to flow into the mandis in the next 1 or 1.5 months, and Haryana is expecting about 90 lakh tons to flow into the mandi, which is a huge operation. And this is also an opportunity to revive the economy. Let's be very clear that rural sector today provides an opportunity. It's a resilient, it is a resilient sector. It can provide the kind of economic boost to the kind of depression that we see all around. And here is an opportunity that we expect the Prime Minister to at least convey that the nation is standing with the farmers at this crucial juncture, and everything will be in order. I think a lot of preparation has gone into the procurement operations. Look at the way the Punjab and Haryana governments have segregated the farming population so that, you know, there's not much of a crowd in one particular mandi. So they have almost doubled in Punjab, and in Haryana we see at least 4 times the mandi number have gone up, because they want to ensure that the footfall in the mandi is low. So which means that you have to ensure that maintaining the physical distances, you are able to continue with the operations. And let's not forget, in the next 1.5 months or 1 month maximum of it, we will see at least 1 lakh crore flowing into the rural economy, and by way of procurement operations, whether it is wheat and rice or whether it is
one of the big challenges, from what I understand, Devendra Sharma, is to ensure that all the harvesting doesn't happen at the same time. If everybody harvests their crops and lands up at the mandi at the same time, it's going to be difficult to manage. Given all the other restrictions, a lot of food grains could go waste, and secondly, social distancing will be difficult. Now that's a very complicated operation. How do you get the message across rural India that you need to stagger the harvesting? How have states tried to approach this dilemma? To what extent do you think they're succeeding?
I was expecting the government to respond to Punjab and Haryana's call, because both Punjab and Haryana have written to the central government that they want to stagger wheat harvesting and procurement operations, which means, you know, let's say Haryana's offer was that if you allow till May 6th, you know, pay farmers a premium or a kind of a bonus, 50 rupees per quintal extra, so that they can keep the stock at their home, which it will be very difficult, of course. But that was a kind of incentive, and Punjab wanted 100 rupees and 200 rupees if you stagger it over a period. Centre hasn't responded. But the point is that the states are aware of it, and because the availability of labor is less, I think in any case this would stagger the harvesting operations, because there's a lot of constraints as far as availability of labor is concerned, and that's a very significant, you know, I would say a little setback that the farmers are going to encounter all across the country.
Rajeev Dubey,
as far as the operations are concerned, yes, you know, the harvesting begins in central India first. So Madhya Pradesh is done. Then, of course, Rajasthan, Maharashtra and so on, and then it moves ultimately to Punjab. So now is the peak season for harvesting in Punjab, and it has started. But I think we need a kind of a message from the farmer that the nation is standing with the farmer at this juncture, which will be a morale booster for a sector which is facing lots and lots of problems, because in case of perishable, they have already suffered a huge loss.
So we've dealt with agriculture to some extent. I want to go across to Rajeev Dubey, who edits Business Today, and focus on how industry can be revived from that COVID-induced coma that it's in. It's a sudden coma. Industry looking for a ventilator, a financial ventilator if possible, and every sector of industry is looking for a ventilator. How do you think the government could potentially prioritize? Because every sector, where we're speaking to top executives, they're all hoping for some kind of bailout. The government simply doesn't have that kind of money. How do you ensure that you keep in mind the lives versus livelihoods dilemma, and yet ensure that some critical sectors can be pumped back to life?
Yeah, so Rahul, the biggest issue as far as the industry is concerned, as I was saying, is the demand. The fact that the demand has crashed so dramatically, and when the lockdown opens, when the demand will the demand pick up as quickly as possible. So it's very important that sectors, there's been this clamor that the resources from different ministries should be diverted towards handling corona crisis. No, government will have to find new resources to handle corona, which is why it's important that we find ways in which we can, create fresh resources, take more loans, so that we can create that kind of a fund to be able to handle corona and to give that stimulus. It will not be possible to divert, let's say, an infrastructure resource into it, because that's one of the sectors of the economy. Public expenditure is the only thing that is keeping our economy going at whatever rate that we are going at, 4.5%. It's going to dramatically crash, but at this point in time, that's the GDP growth rate we have. So it's very important that the public expenditure of the government continues and is in fact accelerated, and the government will have to find resources to be able to fund the stimulus that it will give. The stimulus will have to come in the form of new resources that the government raises, whether it creates debt, whether it raises more debt, or whether it is in the form of new, the RBI printing money and giving money to the, and government giving bonds to the RBI, or any other form in which it will be able to add more money into the economy. Using the current money in the economy is not possible. It's not possible to fight corona. The enormity of the money required is almost 10 lakh crore. 5% of the stimulus of the GDP is what we require for in terms of stimulus. So it's important that public expenditure continues, is accelerated. The government increases ways in which it will be able to fund this stimulus, and the quicker that that the industry can open up, and the quicker the lockdown can be opened up as safely as possible, is what the industry wants right now.